Hello everyone, Jilles Groskamp here from Team Infinity. Today in this video I want to talk about the IF15-2 and how to build the rear diff. As you probably know, a few years ago I made a video how to build a diff for the IF15, the old car, the yellow diff, and now this time it's the black diff. It's basically the same diff, the same dimension. However, we have to tweak here and there to get the good feeling for the differential. So I came up with a few more ideas how to build it. So here I have a weight scale to weight the amount of oil that you put in. It's very important. The shims to make perfectly play on the gears. Of course the diff itself came out of the kit, back B. A little bit of sandpaper, a bearing, I will show you later why. 1.5 tool, and of course the shock oil and the diff oil. So come and have a look. Alright, there we go. So this is the differential from back B. And the first thing I will do is I will take some sandpaper and I will sand down the diffs a little bit where the bearing comes to make it make the bearing come on more smooth. And this is important. Now it's still a little bit tight from out of the kit. So this part from the diff needs a little bit of a sandpaper to to make sure that the bearing will be bearing will go smooth on the diff. And if you do this before you put on the outdrive, you keep the outdrive nicely clean. And so this one needs a little bit more, and then it will be okay. So these are done. Now we're gonna build a diff, and the first thing I do is I take some shock oil, a little bit thin. I put the oil on the O-ring, I put it in, and I also do that with the other side, that it's a little bit smooth. And now it's the very important thing, is the play on the outdrive. And in the kit the shim is 0.1, and in my opinion it's a little bit too little shim, because it has a lot of play, and it's more smooth, and because they are steel gears they can open up a little bit inside the diff. So I recommend to use a 0.3 on both sides. So these are the 5x7 shims, the 5mm diameter inside, 7 outside, and 0.3 thickness. Now I take a 0.3 plus the original 0.1, so in total it's 0.4, and I will now put the plate in. Now I take the pin with a plier and put it in the middle, and you can feel there's still play but very little. So you basically move the gear a little bit out, so there will be more play between the big gear and the small gear, which makes only more smooth. So I will put on the gear. That's one side, and I will do the same with the other outside, the other outdrive, the other side, also 0.4. Put on the shim, put on the plier. It's the most easy way to do it. Also here you feel there's a minimum play, but as you hear there's still play. Next thing is the O-ring. I always make it a little bit bigger, not too much, just like this, and I will put it on top so it easily it's like this. Now comes the important part, of course, the gears. Put in the gears first. That's no rocket science, but so what I said before, this diff is the same as the old diff, it's just the color. But I found out that if you put less oil in diff, and that's why I have my weight scale ready, the diff is more consistent because the diff can expand a little bit more when it's when you drive and when it's getting hot. So I decided after a lot of testing that 1.6 gram is a good basic diff volume. In this case, I want to kind of have the same feeling as an 80k full diff, and this is 100k but with 1.6 gram. In this way it's kind of the same thickness but in the same hardness, I have to say, but it's less oil, so it's when it's getting hot or when it's cooler, it's more consistent. As you can see now, it's 1.6 gram. You can wait for a few minutes to let the oil sit down a little bit more, but because it's not full, it's easy to close the diff soon, and you have no oil who's coming out because it's not full. Now the oil go down enough to close the diff, so here we go. You can put the gear there, it's a little bit more easy to close it now. Take a 1.5. Because the screws are quite long, sometimes I prefer to use the electric machine, so it goes a little bit faster. Not all the way tight, just to help the first turns. It's just quicker. Because the last few turns I want to do by hand, because you never can over tight, and all four has to be kind of the same strength, but again, never over tight those screws. Do it very gently. So this diff is done. Always check the feeling, you check the gears, but the main thing with the gears that I shim it out is that when you push both outdrives together, you still feel it's very smooth. And if you don't shim it out, you feel that the gears are kind of crushed together, so they're too tight together. So I think this is the way to build diff now. So this is a 100k 1.6 gram, and basically the feeling is around 80k, what you normally run with a full diff. Again, this is more consistent, so try it out. Okay, that's my video about building the diff for the IF15-2, the black case diff. And as I said before, when you not put full oil inside, the diff just feels more consistent. So try it out for yourself. I hope this was helpful for you, and see you next time.